So we are starting with reactions of organic compounds.
Okay.
The first of this is combustion,
Okay.
that is burning. The reactions of organic compounds, all hydrocarbons on complete combustion will form CO2 and H2O with the release of energy. This is
Should
the
I write it
definition.
down, sir?
I will give you time to write it down.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so this is the definition
Hmm.
of combustion. All organic compounds, that is hydrocarbons on complete combustion, is going to form. They are going to form CO2 and H2O.
Okay.
With the release of energy. This part is our important product, not CO2 and H2O, because they release a lot of energy. Therefore, they will be all good fuels. You can note down this definition, and then we are going to write down the reactions for alkanes and alkenes.
Okay.
So you see here, this is methane, CH4 is burning in oxygen.
Yeah.
It produces CO2 plus H2O.
Okay.
Similarly, you'll write down the formula for ethane.
Okay.
The product obviously are going to be the same for propane and butane. You'll write down all four of this with the balanced equation, and then you are going to send it to me, and then I'll check.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is combustion of alkenes.
Okay.
In propane, butane. These are the ones that you are going to write the formula, balance the equation, and then send it to me.
Okay.
Substitution reactions. This is meant only for saturated compounds.
Yeah.
What are saturated compounds or saturated hydrocarbons? Those compounds which contain only single bonds.
Yeah.
They are saturated compounds or saturated hydrocarbons, which are going to be alkanes. So
Yeah.
alkanes will be having only single bonds. There will be no double bonds or triple bonds.
Yeah.
So these are going to be the saturated compounds or saturated hydrocarbons. Now those which are unsaturated hydrocarbons, they will be having either double bonds like alkenes or triple bonds like alkynes. So now over here, substitution reaction is a characteristic reaction that saturated hydrocarbons or saturated compounds undergo. Let's look into the definition of this. Substitution reaction is a reaction in which a hydrogen atom from an alkane is substituted or replaced by another atom or group of atoms. This is the definition of substitution reaction, which you are going to take it down. I'm also going to consider a few examples of substitution reactions. Not only the examples, but also we are going to go through the conditions under which this substitution reactions will be taking place. You'll just take down the definition and then we'll consider the examples. Now see, the first example that I'm going to consider is of methane, whose formula I'm going to write it in the form of structural formula.
Yeah.
So that's CH4. This is methane. Now this is made to react with chlorine. This also I'm going to write Cl2 like this. So these both are reacting together. The reaction conditions that are required are UV light, that is ultraviolet light,
Okay.
or cloudy sunlight or diffuse sunlight.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the reactions conditions that are required for substitution reaction to take place. This is methane, that is CH4.
Yeah.
It's reacting with chlorine, that is Cl2. Okay, so now what's going to happen over here? What will happen is this Cl which is there, it will get attached instead of this hydrogen atom.
Okay.
So this hydrogen atom will get removed. So that is the substitution that is taking place
Yeah.
of hydrogen atom with chlorine atom. So over here what's going to happen over here is this hydrogen atom will go away. That hydrogen atom is going to get attached over here.
Yeah.
So this is going to become, this Cl will come over here, and this H is going to come over here.
Okay.
Now not only this, because there are other hydrogen atoms, you can see 1, 2 and 3.
Yeah.
More hydrogen atoms are there. If more or excess of chlorine is present in the stepwise, these more hydrogen atoms will get substituted with chlorine atoms, and you are going to get more of these compounds of substituents of alkyl chloride or chloroalkanes. Okay, so this is the substitution reaction. We can also write the same reaction in the form of molecular formula CH4
Okay.
plus Cl2. The reaction conditions are same. These reaction conditions are important. That is ultraviolet light or diffuse sunlight, that is cloudy sunlight.
Okay.
And this obviously you can see over here, this is CH3Cl. And plus this is going to be HCl. You can note down this example, and then we are going to take a few more other examples. The next example that I'm going to give you over here is C2H6 plus Cl2. Obviously, those conditions which are there, ultraviolet light or cloudy sunlight or diffuse sunlight, they will be present. You're going to write down these other products. You're also going to write this substance, this equation that is of ethane with chlorine, and you are going to write this in the form of structural formula, and you are going to send it to me. So this is the reaction. What you have sent me is correct.
Okay.
Now I want you to write down one more substitution reaction, that is the second step of the reaction that is taking place with chlorine with chloroethane. It means this is going to be your starting substance. Okay, this will be your starting substance,
Yeah.
and then you are going to add this with Cl2, and you are going to show me the next reaction, the second substitution reaction, that you are going to write it and send it to me.